Welcome back. Day 3, Canva Magic. My name's Brian Yarbrough. I'm your Regional Technology Director, as I've said for the past 2 days. So I'm going to be here teaching you today. And please be TCPA compliant. There's one thing, and that's going to make you successful in this class, and that's going to be participating. But first, before we get to that, I did want to show something because I had probably about 5 emails with the same question after the class. So I'm going to go into my Canva and I'm going to look right here at the very bottom. You can see that there's your settings that are in here. When you click on this, if you have a Canva account already before you started with this, you will be up, it'll link both Canva accounts. So you can see in here, I'm using this one that has my quid number at canva.kw.com. That is the KW and Canva Enterprise Edition account. The other one below it is my own account that I have. And you can see in my own account, if I switch to that one, it is switching to it and it's under a different team. And I can even go into my teams and not be part of a team. I can just go to my personal one and just see all my personal stuff. So there's a lot of flipping back and forth in there. So if you're not seeing your stuff, it's probably because of that. So come into here and just make sure you switch to the correct team. Like I have my real estate team in here as well that I had a pro account for. So I just need to make sure that I am in the right place. So what I need is to be part of, switch back to this, the Canva version that has my quid, which is this one right here. So as soon as you log in, if you've already got Canva and it's on the browser and you click this one, it's going to link those accounts automatically. So just search through that one. Let me see. I can get email. All right. So for those of you who were seeing that, just go in here and play and make sure you've got the right account. You should have it set up. If you're in here and you're looking at one with a quid and it says KW Associates, then you are fine. If you need to get to your other account, you can switch back and forth. If you're going to keep a pro account, eventually, if you decide to get rid of your pro account, then it'll take that off there once you close it out. Now I'll go back to our regularly scheduled programming. That was probably the most asked question from yesterday. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to present today on that. I'm just going to present like this. This is all stuff that we can edit and do. So we have background remover. So this is one of the probably most used magic tools we have in here is going to be the background remover, because we can have a photo, whether it be one of our headshots or whatnot, and we can remove the background from it and use what's there. So it's showing that this photo right here has this little girl on a swing and it's got this background in it. And what we want to do is put it on the same background, but we want to use this girl to be over top of the lettering. So how I would do that is I click on the picture and then you're going to come to the very top right here where it says edit. We're going to hit edit. And then when you go to edit, it's telling you right there, it's going to walk you through it. I made sure today I'm using my correct account, so I'm not confusing anybody. Now this picture is the same as this one, and it can be brought on top of this one. Now I'm going to hit the back button because anything I do, I can use the undo button and bring it back. So the purpose of this is if I wanted to put the letters on here, I can come to text, add a text. So got it in there twice. I'm just going to leave it alone saying heading as an example really quick. Make it really big, change it to white. Now you can see right now, the whole point of what I'm trying to do is covering up this girl's head because this is a flat photo. And I don't want to cover the girl's head. So this picture right here that already has the background removed, I can move it over there, but I need to make sure position is to the top. It is saying it's to the top, but it's not. You know what? I'm just going to go like this. Now I click the picture. I'm going to hit duplicate. I'm going to get a secondary picture right here. I'm going to go background remover, which is sitting right here. And now it's over top of it. And I can place this directly in the same place. And now it looks like the text is in the background. So this is great when you're doing flyers or you're just maybe you're doing an event or something like that and you want to make it look like the text is in the background and just makes it pop a little bit more. You can even do it in a different variety. Maybe there's 2 of these people that are on. Let's see. I'm going to use the background remover on this one again. So if I use background remover, now I've got 2 girls right here swinging, but maybe I wanted that heading to be in front of this girl. So I'm going to take this girl right here. I'm going to go to position and I'm going to go backward. And now it's behind the heading and this one's in front of the heading. So you can kind of play with it in different ways. So you've got 2 different ways of field of vision. So I would suggest, again, as I said yesterday, make sure as you're doing these tools, you go and play with them a little bit. Take a practice photos and come in here and play with it before you just get into it. Kind of like going and setting up any other tool. You need to get in here and practice a little bit for use. Any questions on the background removal? I'm going to try and slow it down a little bit today. I know yesterday it went kind of fast. I apologize for that. Just like Photoshop, yes. Difference is this is quite a bit easier with Photoshop. No questions? Good. We'll move on to the next one. Magic Editor is probably going to be the one you use the most. All right, so here's some more magic features. We've got Magic Edit, Magic Eraser, Magic Hub, Magic Grab, and Grab Text. So I'm going to walk you through each one of those and show you how to use it. So for the Magic Edit, you can brush over parts of the image and describe what you're going to change. For the Magic Eraser, you can remove things from the photos. So maybe you took a photo of a kitchen and you want to remove some of the stuff off the kitchen counter. You can remove that. And Magic Expand, done this many times where maybe I've got a headshot and I need to put it in there, but it looks weird because my shoulders are cut off and I want to see my full set of arms. You can expand it and it'll use AI to go and fill in that space and make it look normal. Now, I will tell you, sometimes it doesn't do the greatest job. It usually gives you several different photos to choose from. Magic Grab is really nice. Maybe you took a photo of something and you see that maybe it's a photo of you and somebody else and you guys are too far apart and it looks awkward and you want to move yourself closer together. You can click on it, it'll move yourself closer together. And I'll give you an example of that in a moment. And then grab text. So maybe there's some text on, found a flyer and I love flyer, but I want to grab the text. So I want to edit it or I just want to move it somewhere else. You can do that with AI. So let's move on to the first one, Magic Edit. I can change any elements of the photo in seconds. So this photo right here is showing you that she's got papers in her hand, she's throwing them back. This one, they edit it by putting in flowers. So let's go ahead and try it. So I can go click on the photo, hit edit. Now I'm going to come over here and look at my Magic Studio here. Again, I'm just hitting edit and then coming to Magic Studio. I can click through all this and see the different Magic Edit ones that we just discussed. I'm looking for the one that is going to be the Magic Edit. So I got background remover, generator. I don't want a background generator. I want a Magic Edit, which is this one. Great. Now I'm going to take the brush or I can click. I'm going to try clicking, seeing if that helps any better. I'm going to click on this part and I'm going to click on this part. And I'm going to say that I want long stem roses and see what that does. Let's just wait a minute and it should give us a few examples. So I'm going to go with this one. And then I can hit done. And there it is. It's really that easy. That's the magic part of it. You can pretty much change anything in a photo. So now we no longer have the pictures of her holding 2 pieces of paper. She's now got roses in her hand, very similar to like the bouquet of white roses over here. Any questions on the Magic Edit? How about this? Let me ask you this. Who's got some great ideas or use cases on how you can use Magic Edit? Have you used this feature before? If you have and you're a pro user, please speak up and share with us if you have used it. Hey, Ashley, I don't know if you heard me or saw my text message. I was asking if you could help me with letting people in. I made you a co-host.
I use it a lot.
Donna, what do you use it for? Get rid of me in photos?
Yeah, when I do the photo and I clear the background, then I put it in a completely different place. So like I had a photo of an agent and then said she needs to be sitting at a desk. And it was amazing, just bam. And it changed the photo. I do a lot of putting a beach background and putting them somewhere in the beach. I love to be able to just take the photo and say, put them in a park on a swing at this, and it just happens.
Awesome. Doesn't always happen perfectly, so I just want to
No.
make that clear. Sometimes you got to play with it a bit and
Yeah.
give it different, like not a line of code, but it's basically like that. You have to word it differently. Anybody else? I can give you a few examples. Then maybe you got a listing photo and there's some things that shouldn't be there or they just need to be changed to something else. Maybe somebody left something on a countertop that doesn't look good and maybe you want to turn it into a toaster or something like that. So there's some examples on how you can use it. Or again, if you're doing your photos for your headshots and something just doesn't look right on there, maybe you got a brooch that's kind of twisted or whatever, you can just go ahead and click on that and change it into a rose or something. So Magic Edit can come in handy quite often. So let's go ahead and move over to Magic Eraser. This is a great one. So this is very similar to what we were just talking about. This photo right here is the original. This is the end result. So all I did is get rid of the clutter that's sitting out here. So all we have to do this is the same thing. We're going to click on this one. We're going to go to Edit. We're not going to use the background eraser because we want to get rid of the background, but we can use the Magic Eraser. So in the Magic Eraser, we have the option of brush, click, and then we can just erase the foreground. But I'm just going to use click. I like using the click because it's doing a lot of the work for me. I don't have to worry about, like when I use a brush, sometimes it's so big or I'm all over the place and I want to make sure I get that exact object. So I'm going to go ahead and hit erase here. Now, I'm actually glad I did this. It does not look good. It looks like there's a burn mark on that table. So to fix that, I'm going to come to the brush, and I am going to use the brush now, and I'm just going to clean it up. And then I can again hit erase. And that did a pretty good job, but there's still a little bit of an error right here that doesn't look good. You can hit erase again. Now it's pretty clean. So I can come out of here, and now I've got a very similar photo. Any questions on the Magic Eraser? I'm not going to ask you how to use this because I already explained to you a few minutes ago on how to use this. Again, listing photos, you got countertops that are really jam-packed with stuff. You want to erase some of that, you could use that on there. All right. So, yeah, Magic Expand. So very similar to what I was just talking about. So you have a very small cropped photo. Maybe you're one of those people that like to take the photos like this, where it's in candy bar style or vertical instead of horizontal. One of the things I was taught early in my career, because I took a class on this, and I was always taught to take my photos horizontally. The reason why is you can always crop it to be vertical, but you can't crop a vertical to be horizontal. So I always take my photos always. And I know it drives my girlfriend nuts because I always take photos like this. She's like, why do you do it like that? I always can crop it. So crop, keep it vertical because you have more room. But even so, if you do take a picture that is vertical and you need more, you have a tool here called Magic Expand. So we're going to click this photo, hit edit, and then we're going to find the Magic Expand, which is usually near the end. So Magic Expand. Now I have to grab this and pull it out where I want it to expand at. You can also come over to this and say the whole page, or you can go a 1x1 square. I like to use the freeform and put it how I want. So I'm going to come out here and I'm going to do both sides right here. I'm just going to hit expand and I wait for the magic to happen. And there we go. That's really good. It's done very well. And you can see that it gives you options in case you want some other things like this one right here. Makes it so there's a corner right there pretty much. This one has somebody else jumping into the picture. So she's actually looking at somebody. It's creative that I decided to do that. This one added a glass over here, and it also added some kind of decoration in the corner. So it's your choice. If you want to use that, you can also hit generate new results and it'll give you more results. All right, so even brighten the photo a little bit. I am going to go cancel on this because I want to keep my original photo for my example in another class. Anybody have any questions on Magic Expand? All right, Magic Grab. So as you can see right here, you got somebody put it in text in the background and kind of doing the same thing we did on the other photo, but wanted to move the person off the page. So Person standing right here, and all we have to do to be able to do that is select this photo, go to edit, and we're going to come up here to go to Magic Grab. So Magic Grab's right here. Now it's going to ask us what. I'm going to do the clip again. I'm going to make sure I do include the tablet she's holding. And I'm going to go ahead and grab. The beautiful part about this is it does not leave a space. It recognizes the background and allows you to move this person around the photo. And it's like we knew exactly the space was there. Not only that, but I can move it somewhere else on this entire page, this whole design. Not only that, but I can actually copy it by hitting Control-C and go to another slide, like this lady that's over here. You get Control-V, and I've got that lady to use over here. So it's like I got my own cutout now. All from Magic Grab. I can resize it, and now they can hang out together. So Magic Grab is amazing. So if you got photos that you need to use and you need to grab something with, and you don't want to actually like go and cut them out or cut the background out, you can actually just use Magic Grab. But in Magic Grab, sometimes you just want this lady just to move over somewhere else in here. Maybe she looks better over here. And it gives you the ability to, like it says, put text or maybe a logo or something behind the person. You can see here we put it into a different photo, so it's got different backgrounds. Anybody else have any types of use cases for Magic Grab? Does Magic Media use credits? Great question. No, it does not. The credits are going to be used on specific apps. So once you go into the apps, for example, there may be one that creates your headshots. It'll give you a specific amount of credits. And then once you use those, you'll have to wait until the credits refill. So those ones do use credits, but everything that's in the Magic Media is free for use. There is no limit to how much you can use it. Good question, Francis. All right. Let's move on from Magic Grab then. Magic Text. So as we can see here, we got the 6 personal perspectives. We've taken a photo from it or a PDF from it, and there's one piece of text from that I want to use in a design, or maybe I want to use it in a flyer or something like that. And I want to grab that text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this. I'm going to go again to edit, same thing we've been doing. And we're just going to find the one that says Magic Grab of Text. So we got grab text. Now it's going to bring this design up and ask me what text I want. So I'm going to look at this portion right here. I'm going to grab it. So you can see it's finding the text. And now from that Magic Grab, I can actually take this text and move it elsewhere on here, and I can resize it. So you have access to that text and move it wherever you want. I can even, again, copy and paste it to somewhere else, however I want to. And I can come in and edit it if I need to as well. So if I want this to be skinnier, I can go in, I can move it around, just like that. If you don't have Magic Grab, maybe you're in a design that does not allow for Magic Grab. I mean, most of the stuff will have it. That's very similar to what we were talking about yesterday. If you're not seeing certain things, it maybe have to do with the design. All designs should have all the magic tools. It just depends on what you're in. So thank you for bringing that up, Jennifer. Help me bring up yesterday's. All right, any questions on the grab text? This can be I use this quite often. Maybe you go to a open house and you see somebody created a flyer and you're like, man, I really love to R&D that flyer. Take the flyer, take a picture of it. You can upload it into here and you can grab the text off of it and use it just the same, and then just edit the photos. Like you can use the Magic Grab features for a lot of that. Also, if you just have a PDF, a lot of times you can just upload the PDF into Canva and it will go through and break everything down into pieces, and you can go ahead and edit from there. My Canva account is not KW, so am I allowed to use? So if you're not using a KW one or using your own and it's not a paid one, then you probably don't have access to any of the magic tools if you're not paying for it. If you have a pro account, you should have access to the magic tools. And if you have a KW account, you have all the magic tools and more. So I would I don't know why you would have paid and not have access to those tools. You should. But again, we're going over the tools that you have with KW right now. You have every bit of the paid account and more. All right, so we're in redesign. I don't know if I would call this magic, but it feels like magic to me when I'm making a whole bunch of stuff and I need it. I'm going to give you an example. So we've got this one right in here for multiply your income. So let's say from this recording I'm doing today with you guys on Canva Magic, and I wanted to take this and I wanted to turn this into a blog first, but I also don't want it to just be a blog. I also want to make sure I put it on YouTube, but I also want to make sure that this is a social media post, and I want to make sure it's all these different things that you get from one piece of content, all right? So how can we make multiple pieces of content from this? And this is what I suggest all of you do, because this is how you drive traffic to your website, which helps generate leads. So how I would do that in Magic Resize, and it's showing you that this one right here is this size, how you can get it to this size. So this is more of like a social media, Facebook post type of thing. And then this one can turn into a flyer. How you would do that is come up to the resize up here that has a little crown next to it because it is a paid one. And then you're going to go in here and you're going to choose, like it's giving you suggestions as an Instagram post or Instagram story or Facebook post. You can also choose from many, many more. So you can come in here, you can type it in. So maybe I want this to be a YouTube thumbnail. So I can select that and I can hit copy and resize, and it's actually going to go ahead and make a copy of it and resize it. So I'll do that now. And it's going to do it to the whole thing. It's not just doing it to that picture. It's doing it to the whole presentation. And that's fine. I can go through and delete the stuff I don't want. So now when I hit open, I have a new design right here that's in the size of a YouTube thumbnail, which YouTube thumbnails are much smaller, so the resolution's brought down. Then I can come down into here, hit download. Now, the difference is when I do this, I'm going to make sure that I change this to a JPEG, which is a lower resolution. A lot of times I like to bring the quality down to like a 30. And then I come in here and just select current page. And if this is something you do quite often, they have this beautiful setting right here that says save download settings. So you don't have to keep doing that every single time. And then I can hit download and I'll download that JPEG that I can throw into my YouTube as the thumbnail. All right, so that's just one. There's another option that was in here that had resize, and I can go to Instagram post here. I can resize this design. So if I've got this design in the wrong size, then I can hit redesign this design and it won't make a copy of it. It'll just fix this one. So if you're like, man, I was starting to create an Instagram post and I meant to make a flyer, then you can just resize it to a flyer size really quickly. Now, sometimes it's not 100% perfect because the design, if I'm doing one in vertical like this is right now, and then I need it to be in landscape, very similar to the presentation I'm in, or like a YouTube thumb is in landscape, it'll copy everything over, but it's going to keep it in the same format. So what you'll have to do is go over and play around with some sizes and stuff to make it fit what you need, but you don't have to recreate everything all at once. You just have to resize it. All right. So any questions on the resize? I do suggest you play with this and use it because, again, if you're wanting to lead generate and drive traffic to your websites, which you guys have some extremely powerful websites with Keller Williams, they have IDX feeds all over the country. They're unbelievable. So what I would do is make sure you're using your blog posts, or you have your VA, or you have your admin, or whoever is creating your blog post for you. Create those blog posts. We have Gemini, or you can use ChatGPT or any of these to help you with writing some of these blogs and put them in here. I will take the script from this call when I'm done with it and just paste it into some of the AI pieces and ask it to take that script and write it into a newsletter for me or write it into a blog for me, and it will take everything from the script and turn it into a blog. Then I can put that on the website and I can have that going. I can have links on social media, taking it back to the website's blog, and just keep on driving traffic back and forth to it. Thank you, Donna. All right. Now we're talking about smart mockups. This is a fun thing to use because as it's showing right here, if you wanted to create stickers for your team, or you want to create a t-shirt for your team or any of these other things, or you just want a visual so that you can be able to show it off, we have something called Smart Mockups. And I'm going to show you how to find those. So you're going to come over to the Magic Media right here. Where'd it go? Actually, you know what? There you go, into designs. So smart mockups are very similar to frames, as in, like, for example, this phone is sitting right here and we want to keep all this stuff, but we want a picture in it. The difference is it's already got things created. So let me actually go to here. Go to Canva AI. They hide it on me now. As you can find tons of them in here that are set up. You got smartwatches. The difference is they've got backgrounds there, and that's the difference between the smart mockup and this. So for example, this one right here should be able to take this and drop it into there. Whoops. Undo that. Or like I put that one in there and it will take the place of it and use it as a smart mockup. You can also create your own mockup. So you can add your photo to a laptop. So you got your own picture in here, and you can basically adjust the mockup so that it fits directly into the photo you have. So it says go to edit. There we go. I'm having a problem finding it right in a second. I've used it a million times and I'm not seeing it. I will find it. Give me 1 second. Our projects, our tools, our text. Should be under elements. You know what? I'm going to do a bonus video on this one, which I'm going to actually do that for this whole presentation. I'm going to go through and make videos that are like 5 minutes or less in length and just a whole series on this. And I'll make sure I get that video out to you guys so you can watch on how to do this part of it, because they've moved this around on me. Move over to Bulk Create. This is one I would suggest. So for you guys who are running offices, or if you just want to run your social media and you want to have the ability to upload a ton of social posts for the full month, and you don't want to sit there and look at it, you can do like 100, 300, however many social posts you want to do. And
Right.
you
I
could
think I found the mockups when you go to
Where'd you find that,
edit.
Julie?
So select the image you want, go to edit, and then you keep
Okay.
scrolling all the way to the bottom. There's something that says apps. Yeah, edit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
And then, yeah, that one,
That's
mockups.
mockups right there. You're right. Thank you very much for that help.
Yep.
All right. So here's all your different mockups. See all. You can see some of the ones that we were just looking at already there, and some more. So you got a coffee cup. Here's the biggest difference. You already got photos and stuff in place. So like this canvas bag, I love this one. Just because of the fact it makes it look so real. So we can do the same thing that they're showing there, but I just want to use this actual photo itself. So I can go to Smart Crop. By change. Cancel because you don't want to take the place of that. All right. So this is a paid feature for creating your own mockup template. Let's go let it do its work. The magic's happening. Again, shows the crown on it, so it is paid. You can get a Coke can in here and put your logo on it. Let's do one of those. There you go. We got a Coke can. We'll go backwards and not do that. Come out again. For mockups, maybe we want this to be a photo in the background. And you can adjust where the photo shows up. You know, this a little bit more to the left. And there you go. Thank you. Let's thank for our Julie for jumping in, reminding me of that. All right. Going back over to the Bulk Create. So again, I was saying social media posts that you want to put in here. This example in here is great for the market centers because it's showing that we've created a template. It's showing what the closed units are. We want to recognize our agents, so we're putting their names in here. But what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we connect the data that's in here to make sure that agent one's name actually becomes that person's name based upon a spreadsheet we download and upload in there. Again, you could also do this, like I was saying, like I did one before where I went through the MREA and found all the quotes that are in the MREA using AI. It pulled them all out of the document for me and found the best 100 quotes from there. And then I can upload that into a graphic that is pre-made, and I just replace the text in there. So the way you're doing that is you're going to go to apps. So apps is right here. And then you got to find bulk create. Here's bulk create. And then you can connect it from uploaded sheets, from Google Sheets. So Sheets is new inside of Canva. As of several months ago, they made their own sheet. So if you're doing it within your own sheet, you can do that. But normally the way I've done it is just doing a Google Sheet itself. If you're in Excel or anything like that, you download it as a CSV and you have it, then you can enter data manually, or you can upload as an Excel spreadsheet or CSV that way. Now, when you do that, it's going to give you the headers, like name and what their GCI is maybe, or be the quote would be maybe all you have in there. And then you just give it the name and the quote. And what it'll do is it'll go through and bulk create all the same template over and over and over, but it's going to put in the information it's getting from the header. Now, just like it did here. So all these names get pre-filled. And then you can go change the backgrounds if you want to. For example, if you're doing like a quote, you could change to different backgrounds in there, like different videos, whatever you want it to be. All right. Anybody have questions on bulk create? And has anybody used bulk create and found how to use it in a different way than I've suggested? It was very helpful. Nobody? Suggest you go play with this one, because this one will save you a ton of time. Maybe you've not got your social media game out like me. I'm not a big social media person. However, I do help with our regional one and do theirs. And when it comes to doing theirs, I can create this in bulk really quickly. All right. Transparent PNG export. This is a big one that you guys need to know how to do for a reason. I was saying the other day, a lot of you guys like to have your logos and you have these big square boxes around them. And it looks really bad when they're on there. So the way you can get out of that is by making sure, like this one's showing right here, this is a transparent one that has nothing around it. Unlike this one right here, which has a big box around it. So the way you do that is you can do the background remover. And just like that, it's gone. And if I wanted to download this, I can actually click this. And sometimes there's an option here to download, but if there's not, I can go to right here and go to download. And I can go to PNG, which is going to be the one that you want to do when it has no background. And choose transparent background. And in here, I should be able to limit it to current page. There should be an option also to just the current design. Must have not clicked on something correctly, because it should give me the options just to design. Let's see if it does it on this one. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll bring this into, you can copy and paste this, and I'll just go, if I have that problem, this is my hack to it. I'll just go create a new one. So I'll come over here and just type in logo. Get a blank logo. And again, this is another nice feature is now that I've copied it, I can just hit paste and that one comes over. It's not what I meant to though. So let's go to here, copy, control paste, and now I've got that over here. I can resize it. And now I can resize the page, expand to whiteboard. I can just go to share, go to download. Now when I download this as a logo, I can keep this as my logo with no background on it. Go to transparent. And I'm going to make sure it's PNG. I can download it and I'll have that as a phone PNG. Now, one thing is you come to uploads over here. You got the full area where you've got pictures. I can come from my download and just drag it in there and I'll keep it there for me to use later. So now you can see there's no background on it. It's got little boxes. There you go. Any questions on the transparent PNG? All right, you can animate elements or pages for social posts. So if you're doing a social post, if you want it to stand out, you want to make sure you use some animation to make things move around because it gets people's attention. Usually video makes people get their attention. So how you do that is you can click on this element right here and I can go to animate. And in this animate, you've got some options. Okay. So we can go to the page and we can animate the entire page, or we can just do the photo, which is the item that was selected. If we do this, we can say featured, wipe slide. I've noticed they constantly keep adding new things to it. Like this old TV, can make it like an old TV right there. I can choose whether it happens on both entrance and exit or just on enter. So as soon as it starts, and I can choose the speed that it does it at. I can change it to a chroma wave. And when you click on it, it just shows you what it's doing. It's just a reveal on that one. See, this one's already got a design on it. That's why you see this one flickering. This one did not, and it does now. So you can, that one shows the brush on enter. You can do a curve, wild. You just click on it. It shows you what that design looks like. That way, when you go to download it, I could download this as a video, or I can download this as a GIF. So a GIF is just like a flip book almost. You're seeing things move, but it's a lower file size than a movie. So the reason you might want to use a GIF is that might be nice to upload to social media, or if you want to share it as on your phone, you want to text it to somebody as a GIF, you could do that. If you're okay with the whole movie, then I would do that. It's a higher quality. All sorts of different ones in here. It also gives you some suggested ones based upon what you're creating. So you can sit here and animate each one individually. Also, one of the ones I didn't show you yet, this is great. So I can create an animation of my own. So all I have to do is grab this and move it to where I want. And it shows you the trail that it makes. So I could make that, and that'll be its animation. And if you want to get rid of that, all I have to do is hit delete path, and that's gone. And it's not doing that anymore. Again, the whole point is to visually make this so that it pops out and gets somebody's attention. So some examples is maybe you have a picture of a house and you have an open house on there, and you want to take that open house. So let's use a few of those ideas together. I got a house. It's got a sign in front of the house. Of course, it's not our sign because we're not allowed to have our sign in MLS photos, but in regular advertising photos, maybe we got some kind of like open house sign on there. We can make that open sign like pop on there, make it bounce or whatever. You could do that. And then maybe, I don't know, have some words pop in saying open house. So you can make it really visually stunning. Even with these letters right here, I could do the same thing. You can make them animate by coming over here and showing as a gradient. Any questions on the animate of elements? All right. QR codes. As agents, we love these. These are things we use for lead capture or just to share all the time. Even in classes, I use these all the time. You have so many different areas in here where you can create QR codes. Again, if you come over to the apps area right here and you just type in QR code, hit enter, you got a ton of them that pop up. So have fun with that. Go through and find which one you want to use. Different ones do different things. All right. So some of them have more designs. I've used this one quite a bit. You can go in there and you hit open. And then I've used this one quite often. And you put the link in there. You can choose the color you want it to be. So the link, an example of how to use this is maybe you're doing an open house. I don't know this, but if you all know this, but if you learn something from here, I'm going to go to my website, Here's my website, and maybe I find a property on here. Like I want to go to this property, and I'm going to go to the end of this property, and I'm going to hit /open house. And this will create the open house sign-in sheet for you automatically. That will then take those leads for anybody who signs in and automatically put them in to come in for you. So here's your sign-in sheet. Now, if you're on a team, they'll ask you based upon team members who is running the open house. That way that the leads get assigned to that person. So here's the open house sign-in sheet. I'm going to take this link right here, hit copy. Now I'm going to come back over to here. I'm going to put this into the link area. And then if I have a logo I want to put in there, I can put that in there. It'll put the logo in there for you. Maybe just for the fun of it, I'll go ahead and put that phone in there. So there's the phone right in the middle. I can change the color to red if I want to. And then just add the design. Now, I could put this anywhere on my flyer. So if I created a flyer for my open house and it's got some pictures on it, I could ding this flyer on the door with this scan me on there, asking people to please sign in to my open house. If you want to, you can even use this analytics where you can, but they're going to ask you to sign up or sign in for that. You only get so many of those. I've never used that because my whole point is to try to just get people to go to my website. So they're scanning and then just go to my website, logging into the open house. All right. Any questions on creating QR codes? All right. Next we have generate text with Canva's AI. So you've got this magical button that lives down at the bottom. You probably might have seen it the whole time we've been going. It sits right here. It's got quick actions and you can choose, like, this is a slideshow. So it depends upon what you're doing with a slideshow, or even if you're making a magazine or anything like that, it may ask you if you want to put page numbers on. My suggestion is you don't put page numbers on anything until you're completely done. Okay. Because if you go add and delete, you don't want to mess up your page numbers. So put the page numbers in, but make sure you're done. Then you can throw the page numbers in there and I can just hit page numbers and boom, each one of my pages has a page number. Just like that. The font, I can go in and change the font size, show more. I can look at the transparency, animate element. It'll do a lot of this stuff for me. What I want it to do is, though, I want alternate text. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to choose, if I chose the text, and I want to it, be descriptive. So I'm going to tell it what I want it to do. I want to change this to be, I want verbiage about an open house. Where'd it go? As you can see, if you type something in here, it's going to bring up the stuff you want, but I want the actual magic right. Oops. Here's magic right in this text. So we can go to a bunch of different options. You got transform text, rewrite, fix spelling, continue writing, shorten, make fun, abnormal, change voice, general quiz. Let's just go to transform text, prompt anything, open house that is on. So it gives me join us for fun field. So I can go to hit enter and I'll replace it. And I didn't have to write any of that. I just let it do all the fun for me. Now, again, I've got this up here. So if I go to Magic Write again, I can say shorten. If I hit enter or just click on this, it'll put it in there. So it's place. I can also come in and say change voice and give it an example of what it wants. And I'll do that there. Magic Write's pretty self-explanatory. It's just probably if you're used to using any kind of AI, it's the same thing. Shorten it, make it more fun, make this more fun. And replace it. Anybody have questions on Magic Write? Okay, good. I'm trying to go as slow as I possibly can to make sure that everybody can stay up. But I know I went kind of fast here, so I apologize for that. And I'm going to give you now, if you want this presentation, you can go ahead and download that from right there. You can get that QR code. That is the last magic piece that I have for you today. And that is all the magic areas in Command. I'm sorry, not Command, but in Canva. And I will tell you that Canva is very good about constantly adding stuff to this. Every year they have their own summit, kind of like we have Family Reunion or Mega Camp, and they constantly release new stuff every single year. And they're constantly adding AI stuff to this. Very similar to how they're going to be adding more and more stuff to our version of it and helping us keep up with templates. So before I go, I'd like to ask, is anybody tell me what is some ahas they had from the training today? What is their favorite magic trick that we brought up today?
Right. I don't think the scan code worked on mine, so I'm not sure if anyone else.
Okay, I'm going to email it to every single person who wants
Okay.
to know more about it. Thank you for letting me know, though. Let's move off that so I can say no more. You're going to get it in your email along with this video.
The magic erase was probably I would say my biggest aha, just because of how simple it was, more so the click, because I struggle with using the brush and having to go back in and finalize all these tiny details. And the
Yeah.
click was wonderful.
If you're using a PC, sometimes using your cursor to try to brush is really difficult. Now, if you're on a tablet or a phone that's got a little stylus that goes with it, it's not as bad, but you just got to make sure you've got the size of your marker that you're using to brush with the right size. But I agree. I just use the magic selection. You can also use, instead of eraser, maybe if it's not something you need to erase, just change it to something. Anybody else have one they want to share?
I think in general, I mean, I've been using Canva, the free version, for a long time, and there's always limitations on what you can do. And I consider upgrading, but one of those things like, I just figure out, with the free version. So have all of this now open and not really added cost, I think is great.
Well, congratulations. You don't have to go pay that extra expense. We've done it for you. And you get a lot more tools. I do understand that this class is, for some of us that have been pro users for a while, this is going over some of the stuff, but I think this is very useful. There will be more courses put out for you guys. I will record lots of videos that go into more and more detail. I will start over though and go, like I said, 3 to 5 minute classes that just show you specific features. That way, if there's just one thing you want to learn, you can just go to that one thing and not have to listen to all of it. Just do me a favor. If that's something you're interested in, make sure once you get this video, it'll take you to our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way, every time we have those videos come out, it'll let you know that they're available for you.